Okay, we are back. Hello and welcome to the stream. Alright, we just wrapped up Crizzy's playthrough, and we're gonna hop into Heisenberg's Flinders Club. I don't know how to pronounce that. That is Flinder's Bluff. I'm gonna go with that one. Um, and then I'm gonna catch up on chat comments from the end of the last stream. Ignore so you finish your closing. Yep, thank you. Your concept came together. Oh, you're talking about World Cup stuff or Dream Team stuff. Perfectly fine. Yes, I have been slacking on that course myself. I've done some. I've got the routing mostly settled, but I have been waiting to. I want to get judging done, and I have a work in progress course that I want to get done, so I can just spend all of my attention on that. So I'm not really going to start on that until I get all of this stuff done. Hey, Grenade, how's it going? Anyway, we have Heisenberg's course here. I'm going to go with Flinder's Bluff as the pronunciation. Kind of have like a... I believe it's supposed to be like an Australian, like coastal sandbelty thing. I don't know if sandbelt's the right term, but coastal Australia, I think. Like, I get a little bit of kind of like a... what do you want to call it? Like a coastal stream song feel to it, which I'll have to apologize. I'm sure the inspiration is obvious, but I'm just I've read all of these threads so long ago that I don't remember all of the details, and I'm not gonna go pull them up right now because I want to go. I'd rather go, make sure that I don't want to pause for 5 minutes in between all of my streams so that, chat, stream song in Australia. Okay, so I basically picked up I picked up what he's laying down pretty quick. In which case, yeah, like you nailed your inspiration. If I can come in pseudo blind, not remembering what your thread said, and then just figure out what you're doing just based on looking at the first hole. But yeah, I think the environment work is great here. Like the land features are certainly very interesting so far. Like the big blowout bunkers. Like it's hitting the notes that you want to hit. And as is tradition for all of these playthroughs, we'll just start with a cozy bogey. Maybe we'll squeak away with a par here. Nope, that didn't break enough. So we're going to start with two cozy bogeys. Again, this is another one that obviously made the top 16. So, there's just... I think we've got a pretty strong top 16 in this contest. So, like, I think with a lot of the courses that make the cut, I'm not going to have a lot of negative stuff to say. And it's really just going to come down to, for me, like, courses that hit the difficulty while still being good. Like, the top 16 is all pretty great. But, like, a lot of them are not close in terms of difficulty. Like, I think like there's a couple arguably CC courses that made through. So, like, I love those courses. Like in fact, I think like some of my top personal favorites are some of the ones that are too easy. But like my personal feelings of what I like and what I feel like is the best course for the contest are different things. Like I'm not going to pick you as my winner if I don't think that you at least got close to the intended difficulty. I will give you a nod. I will love your course if you build a really great CC course, but I'm not going to pick you to win the major contest if you built a really great CC course. Hey, Dramans, how's it going? But again, I am, Heisenberg tends to be, like, he likes his wild plots and kind of interesting, quirky golf. And like I think this is, so this fits right into his wheelhouse. And at first glance, like I think he's definitely he's definitely done something pretty cool here. It's that, like, not unexpected, but it's just like, oh yeah, like this feels like a Heisenberg course, and in a good way. I am doing okay. Oh, his scoreboard is wild. Yes, I can't. You'll have to forgive me. I've played all of these courses already, but I was in a bit of a rush to get first round out. So like I did like 2 power sessions of blowing through all of the courses that I needed to play still, and it was a very hazy week. So I'm like I've played all of these, but a lot of them kind of blend together, and or like it's so I struggle to remember a lot of details of individual courses because I just played them all in a big session, took notes, uh, got the cut done, and then just like purged it from my brain. I like the look of this tee shot. The cape part I don't like. It's okay. Around the water is okay, but I love this narrow area with the planting framing the green, and that's pretty. It's not really in play, but like I don't really mind because that's just a fun way to frame this hole. That's so good. But anyways, so I've played this course. I'm sure I've seen that scoreboard, but it's probably going to be like a borderline new experience for me. I was worried that I was, because originally the first several playthroughs were all like my first look at the course, like a fresh kind of first impressions type thing. And now that I've had to judge all of them, I had all of these courses I've played before, but and I was worried that, hey, I'm not going to be able to give that same first impression kind of idea in playthroughs when I just like have notes ready for all of them. But having played the first 2 of this session, like I don't think I've touched this game in nearly a week and a half, 2 weeks. Um, you zoom around his planting all the time and feel like you're doing it on your own courses, and go back to his, and they just have some sort of organic shine that is so hard to emulate. I feel that way about a lot of designers. It's but yes, Heisenberg does Heisenberg things very well, if that makes sense. But like, there's plenty of designers I try to copy from all the time and be like, hey, I can look at it and understand in great detail what he did and why. But then when you go to replicate it, it just like it's so hard to make that work. There's so many. Like I feel like with a lot of top designers, everybody has their style because that's it's built on how they think and how they approach things. And so I feel like when you're taking something that somebody can just do naturally and intuitively, and then try and like reason your way through it, it's really hard to do. I love the look of this tee shot. This is so nice. Again, so I think I've only played this one once, I think, so far, purely because like when I did it for the cut, I only needed one round to know that, like, hey, this course is really good, and like it's you this should be in the top, in the top group. So I haven't gotten as close of a look at it as, say, a couple of the other courses that I was a little less sure on if they wanted to make the cut. It's like I really focused on the kind of the fringe courses where I wasn't sure on. And this one was one where it's just like, I don't need to take that much time on this. Like, this is an obvious yes. So realistically, I haven't really gotten to spend a lot of time with this course yet, as I'm like just starting to get into uh what do you want to call it? I'm just, just starting to get into my own round two judging where, I'm going to have to take a much deeper look at most of these courses. And, like, I can imagine this one, like, second round in, it already feels like it's growing on me, and I can't wait um, to really dive in and just start kind of figuring out all the nuances and little features on this course that just like this one, like again, I think it's not an easy course. I think this is what do you want to call it? It's but yeah, this is probably another one that I would peg at being like elite. It's a really good difficult course, but it's not like it's like it's too wide, it's too like fair almost to be really plat-ish. God, my putting's bad. I mean, yes, I'm over par, but I'm also like a lot of it is like just this stuff, right? Just slapping putts around and not doing that well. Wow, did I just five putt this? I don't know why. Like that's not a hard putt. Like why is that? Why is that happening? Um. Also, I think like I love like again I love the environment, but in terms of like an tournament atmosphere, it really doesn't have any. I mean, well, I should say it has some. It doesn't. The environment of this course doesn't really work well for like a major. I think in terms of just like in order to get the big sandy waste areas and to do all of the really interesting like golf features and gorgeous visuals that he's pulling off on this course. The tunnel coming up between holes is mental. I think I remember that. Yes, it's pretty darn good. But anyway, so it's just the kind of by necessity with the style of course he went through or went for. Like yes, there's people around. Like I'm not gonna say that he didn't attempt a tournament atmosphere, but uh, like I don't. It doesn't have the same like major feel that a lot of the other courses in this contest pulled off. So I think he'll like I'm not gonna penalize him for like a lack of environment or whatever. But I also think like he's not gonna get the same amount of points on that front as some of the other courses are that absolutely nail that feel. Well, that's just a terrible shot. All right. We found our tunnel. That's gonna be fun. We're gonna take a couple minutes to look at that, and that is just fantastic. That's again the amount of time and effort and love that went into that is nuts, and I love it. Because obviously you can't have land over it, so it's the roof is built using only bushes, and the top is just made from. So you just have retaining walls and bridges, and then you just put all the planting on it, so that. Hold on. Like that looks like it's. Like it looks like it's land. How did he do this? I'm lost. Like what? Oh, I bet you it's a rock. It's a rock. Okay. Oh, that's cool. That's well done. Yep, it's a rock. Gotcha. Cause yeah, that's real clever. That's a cool touch. I think I don't know, like this is a great example of in a lot of ways like so many things that make a golf course great in this game, or just like in general with like kind of design features and fun stuff, makes it just really hard to use for high level tournament play, like, especially in this game, because the margins that you have to provide are so tiny. But like I think there's a little bit of that, and just like, well, like great real life major venues, or like the stuff that they play every week, just generally aren't that interesting or exciting in terms of golf. But but they're an appropriate challenge. And so I think this one, like, it's a great golf course, and it's not the best major venue because of it. It's still pretty good. Like, this is like, I'm not gonna say he missed the difficulty at all. I mean, like, I'm cruising around at over par because I'm now, admittedly, like 5 of those shots were just putts. This is a course for the off season. Yeah, I could see that. Or again, like, this would make a fantastic elite course, I think. Like, it's certainly challenging, but it's not ridiculously challenging. And Heisenberg, you did 6 putt on 1 hole. Yes, absolutely. So, like, I think Heisenberg, realistically, it's like, well, this is one of the best courses in the contest. But I don't think it's the best major course in the contest. So, like, there's gonna be some interesting, I think, scoring in terms of, like, for me, I definitely want to reward the courses that I feel like rose to the the challenge and answered the question we were asking, more than the ones that just built great golf courses that kind of continue to do, like, again, like, yes, we gotta go. Ah, that's right, I do remember this. Yes, that's a fantastic scoreboard. All of the logos and things are wild. The car, like, that's just you know. Again, I love the, like, this is the first part that feels like kind of tournament atmosphere to me. And it's like, not that you need it everywhere, but it's like, this is the only, like, these guys are the only stands on the whole course, and then the rest of it is just like, I'll sprinkle some people in. It is nice to get a touch of it, but it may be a little kind of like too little, too late type thing for atmosphere. All characters from Breaking Bad, of course. But yes, I really like the course. I see it doing well, but I don't know if I see it making my top couple. But also, like, there's plenty of other judges, and like, again, this is one that I love. I would love to play on tour, and I'd love to come back here. But I also I don't see it hosting Plat necessarily. Like, as you said, maybe like an off-season event, but or a kind of an easier week, but probably not a major. But anyway, thank you for the course. It's quite lovely. I love what you did with it. Yeah, yeah. Actually, that's a much better way of saying it. In terms of, it might be the best golf course that just kind of ignored the rubric in the contest. Where it's like, it checked the boxes, but only just and it's kind of the opposite of like, say, Dario showing up to CC contests and making a major contest course in it, and be like, I love this course, it's amazing, but also, like, can't win a contest when you ignored the or when Pat just made a links course for a fantasy contest. Like, there's it's another great example of just like, you built a great course that just didn't do what the rubric asked. And so it's like, you'll probably do well, but you're not going to win. Oh, it was in Arizona. Okay, that's right. But to be fair, I love that move. It's very funny, but it's also just like I get why that's a thing. And this isn't nearly as egregious as that. Like, I don't feel like he outright ignored the rubric, but, you know, it doesn't check the major boxes in the same way that some of the other ones do. But I still love it as a course. But yeah, anyways, we'll wrap this one up, and we will catch you guys in the next one. For those of you in stream chat, I'll be back in just a sec. We'll see you next time. Have a good one.